Hey there, this is Scott,
This is Scott
and this is RV Life
from Top.
to Bottom. Thanks again for joining us. So we just left Sedona, Arizona, and Cottonwood, which you saw in the last video, which again was pretty gorgeous. And we're making our way to Santa Fe, New Mexico. But on the way, we wanted to make a stop that we had really never been to before, and that was the Meteorite crash site, which was by Winslow.
It's just kind of funny to hear it say like a crash site.
I know.
But yeah,
So that, I mean,
but
they
where the
consider it-
meteorite hit the earth,
Yeah. So I think they technically consider it a crash site. So we took some video there. Oh my gosh, it was so windy that day. It was a little
It was
chilly.
stupid windy. Yeah.
It was kind of silly. But what were your thoughts about that? I mean, it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool because, it was like one of those things like you learned about in school and heard about. And so it was just kind of nice to finally see it because it's definitely a place that you have to make a point of going there because it kind of really is in the middle of nowhere, Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably an hour-ish east of Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but it's cool. I mean, you can see in the videos here, it was just kind of a neat site. The one thing that was interesting to me is the meteorite itself that crashed wasn't all that big, but it was going so fast, it caused that massive crater.
It was just very interesting, like how they learned that it truly was a meteor impact site because, the person who found it, at first no one really knew what it was.
Yeah.
And then it took a scientist to really convince, others. And what was interesting about it was through the atomic bomb research is how they were able to confirm that the impact was from a meteor based off the impacts that the atomic bombs did to the earth.
Really just interesting stuff. I mean, we aren't like gigantic science nerds, but it was just kind of cool. The other thing interesting about the meteorite site is that it's right by Winslow, Arizona. Everyone knows that famous Eagles song.
How does that sound?
Standing on the corner of Winslow, Arizona, with my raspy voice right now. Anyway, so we had to go to Winslow, Arizona. And we got some video of that here, of course, and some pictures.
I didn't know this about Winslow, but Route 66 also goes through. So they had a nice mural in the middle of the road. And it definitely was a tourist kind of destination place.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's kind of a fun little check mark. Like we've actually been to Winslow, Arizona.
I know, it was kind of good. So there we left Winslow, and then we made our way to beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico. How many times you've been in Santa Fe? 3 or 4 times now?
Yeah, 3, 4 times. Sometimes it was just a hotel stay and just overnight. But actually, this was the longest amount of time spent in Santa Fe.
Yeah. Well, for me also. We had been there once together, sort of.
Just a day trip from the RV was down in Albuquerque, and we just had a quiet day, so we did a road trip out.
Yeah, which was not far from Albuquerque, so that was great. So logistics in terms of Santa Fe, we stayed at Santa Fe Skies RV Resort. Say that fast 10 times. My goodness. And I mean, really a very nice RV resort. It's probably one of the only ones, but it's sort of perched up kind of nice and high. So you really had really great views of kind of sort of the valley to the west and the mountains. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I really enjoyed our spot there. You can tell like they have done a lot of work to improve the site, because where the cement pad was, it actually could tell they put new cement to make more space. But I also just really enjoyed that they had artwork all over because Santa Fe is kind of known for art. And so it was nice that the campground really embodied the spirit of Santa Fe within it.
Yeah, it was a really nice site. I would totally stay there again.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that was a nice bonus. They actually had a dedicated walking trail that went around the perimeter. So it had also ups and downs. And so that elevation changes, that was also just a nice treat with the dogs.
Yeah, it worked great.
Yeah.
And then in Santa Fe, we did a couple different things. So kind of our summer of hikes sort of theme. So we went and did a hike at Picacho Peak, which is, I guess, technically sort of in town.
Yeah.
I mean, they consider it an in-town hike, but I mean, it's kind of like on the mountainy range thing. Would you say that's on the north side of town?
Yeah, on the east side.
Yeah. And really, really cool hike. What were it was beautiful.
It was really beautiful. And what was really cool about it is that there was a section where we walked along a dry riverbed. And I've never quite experienced a hike where you did that. And so there were big boulders and kind of the water steps. And so,
Yeah.
and there was kind of a little bit more sandy in spots.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a special treat. And there was also gigantic trees.
It was great. The hike, again, you started out of that parking lot and went up. What was the elevation climb?
I think it was like,
Is it
ooh,
1,400 feet?
maybe.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
somewhere. And then the top is gorgeous. We've got some video here up at the top. And you can kind of look all over the place, right? It's really, really, really quite beautiful. And so that was a great hike. In honor of our friend Keith, we decided that we were going to start rating our hikes on kind of Keith's terrifying, I'm afraid of heights scale. But we decided to soften it a little bit and call it How Sweaty Were Our Balls? 'Cause it's like sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls?
Sweaty balls. So on a scale of 1 being easy, 5 being the most difficult, on the sweaty scale, how would you rate this hike?
On the sweaty scale, I would rate it as a 3.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. Yeah. I think at the very, very top, if you wanted to go to that little top section up there, like where we kind of hung out and took some pictures, maybe a 4, 4.5. But sweaty ball scale,
3.
3. All right. So after the hike, we decided to go to downtown Santa Fe, where the square is. And normally there's a lot of crafts and all the stuff that's kind of set out there, all those tables. We were there at a time that it was kind of past all that. So everyone had put it away. But, downtown Santa Fe is gorgeous. And so there's all sorts of food. I mean, the food in Santa Fe is crazy, right? I mean, everyone talks about green chilies in New Mexico. And yeah, we had that in Colorado as well. But I mean, it was really, really, really good.
Yeah. I think one thing that I would recommend if you do want to be a foodie in Santa Fe is making reservations. It did seem, even though the city didn't feel very busy at that time, but it was very hard to get into some
Yeah.
restaurants that we wanted to just because we had no reservation.
Yeah. We did find a couple that were pretty dang good on the fly. Yeah.
It's definitely a foodie town.
Yeah. And in the square, they have the official Cathedral Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi, and known for its staircase.
Yeah, it's like a very famous staircase because there's a lot of mystery about who built the staircase
Yeah.
for the church because it's a special staircase where there is no supports underneath it. And so it just kind of mysteriously, miraculously just kind of hangs there.
We had a picture. I put that in here. And but it was cool. Again, downtown Santa Fe, gorgeous. Then we decided to do another hike. So we went to Bandelier National Monument, which was actually pretty cool. So again, I think you had done a Google search of hikes around Santa Fe, and this one had also popped up. A couple things about the hike. Technically, it was occupied by the ancestral Pueblo people from 1150 to 1550. So it's the kind of the cliff dwelling stuff. Now we've done other sort of cliff dwelling hikes before. We did Mesa Verde. I'm going to put a couple videos of that. And then we, of course, just did the one by Cottonwood, which was pretty cool. And it was just really, really very, very cool. Now, this one, we were actually quite surprised at how well done this national monument was. It was gorgeous in that little valley, first of all. Yeah, which is cool. And it is a national monument. So that means our national parks passport could be stamped. And so I took some video of Scotty stamping that. That's kind of a fun thing to do. If you've never seen that before, highly recommend getting the passport. It covers the entire nation. And so it was really fun to kind of do that again. It's been filling up, right, in all of our years of travel. So we started on one of the hikes, which was to this whole set of ladders that go up. And then, there's some viewpoints up there sort of thing. So Scott was a genius.
There was a lot of people in front of us.
There's a lot of people.
So I was like, hey, let's do the trail the other way.
Yeah.
Instead of counterclockwise, let's go clockwise.
Yes, which we did, which was genius because we skipped just a lot of the mayhem of all the people in front of us. So I put some video in here of us getting to that ladder area. The river area was just beautiful. The whole hike was just quite frankly gorgeous. And the smells were so good. That's the other thing about some of the forest stuff. It just smells good. It's just different than the desert, right? And then as we left there going clockwise, then we went to another of the main village areas too, which was really just, it's so impressive. You think about cliff dwelling and, I mean, we're talking on iPhones with microphones, right? I mean, My gosh, it's just crazy to think what life was like back then.
I think what was interesting about this village area is normally when we've seen ruins is that a lot of time there isn't a river nearby.
Mm.
And so it was very interesting just seeing the water flowing. And actually, I think this is one of the areas I'm like, you know what? If I lived in that time period, this could be a place I would live.
Yeah, totally, right? Yeah, because like you think of Mesa Verde, I mean,
It's like
technically there's water way down there, but this was like the river was like right there.
running. Uh huh.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very, very clever. So now with our new segment of sweaty ball sweatiness on the hike, how would you, from 1 being easy and 5 being difficult, how would you rate this hike?
Well, this one, the sweaty ball factor, I don't know if it's the right number, but I kind of want to have like sweaty ball excitement, and I'm going to go for 4, even though it wasn't technically difficult, but it was very beautiful and you climbed ladders. And so it just had a more interest, and you kind of just go way up high on this cliff to see one of
Yeah, the
um,
sights. I would agree 100%. It's really the hike itself is all flat, right? Until you get to the ladder area. And then once you hit the ladders, then man, if you're afraid of heights, I don't think you're doing those ladders. I mean, that was pretty straight
mhm,
up. And they were
straight up.
big. Yeah.
Yeah,
So here's our segment. Again, rating it. We decided on a 4.
4.
Okay. All right. And now we decided that we wanted to go see the original
Meow
Meow
Wolf.
Wolf. We have been to the Meow Wolf in Denver, and I'll plug some video of that in here as we chat a little bit. What is Meow Wolf?
It's a art project.
It's an
An
interactive
interactive
art
art
experience.
story,
Yeah.
discovery,
All of that.
and it involves all your senses,
Yeah.
like sight, hearing,
Touch.
touch.
It's
Yeah.
really crazy. It's
Mhm.
awesome. So the Denver one was gorgeous, but of course, we had the chance of going to the original. Man, we took a lot of video in there because it's just it's trippy, but in a fun way. We have been told, now this is not us, so full disclosure, you know, people take psychedelics and all sorts of crazy stuff and go in there, and I'm sure it's got to be hilarious. Obviously, we went in there with a cup of coffee, so we're probably a little bit more boring, but it's just gorgeous in there. I mean, it's, as you can see from the videos, there's just so much to see. There's so much to touch. It's just insanity, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was one room reminded me of my childhood because it had all like
Screaming dolls. No, I'm
no.
kidding.
No, but it had like floppy disks
Oh,
and cassette tapes and VHS tapes, and I was like, wow, like I think a child of today's age wouldn't even know what any of that stuff was. So,
no, it's just crazy. It's fun for all ages. I mean, that's the thing about Meow Wolf. So Santa Fe is the original. They have 4 locations currently. They are opening up
I think 2 more, yeah,
and
New York
opening
and
up Los
LA.
Angeles, I
Yeah.
think. So if you are in a Meow Wolf location, definitely go to see those because let me tell you, it's worth the price of admission and plan to spend several hours there. It's just really pretty fantastic.
Yep. And if you are wandering around in the Santa Fe Meow Wolf, there is a arcade game inside there. It's kind of hidden, but you may find it. And it does say press your luck and 1 out of 100 wins. And I was pretty persistent. I was like, even if I have to press it 100 times, I'm gonna get it. When it went
And you
off,
did.
it was awesome.
Uh,
And everyone around me was so happy too.
yes, it was great. Definitely do Meow Wolf. So that really kind of summed up our week. The week went fast again. Wow. When you work remotely and travel, you're kind of squeezing everything in when you can, which is just the beauty of being able to do what we do. But wow, the week really did go pretty fast.
Yeah.
Final conclusions on Santa Fe, thumbs up, thumbs down,
It was great. Definitely a place I would go back, and
100%.
um, it's just a beautiful area and lots to see and do. Whether it's indoor Mizumi kind of things or outdoor getting sweaty balls.
Well, this is good stuff. Well, thanks again for joining us. Again, I'm Scott,
And I'm Scott.
and this is RV Life from top to bottom. And if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out our website, of course, which is www.rvlifefromtoptobottom.com. In there, you will see our travel maps, where we have been last year and the year before, and some other previous stuff in there as well. We also have a campground map in there, which is an interactive map where you can see all the different places we have already been. And we've segmented that between a lot of the gay campgrounds that we have been to. National parks are in there, regular campgrounds that we have been, and then all of the amusement parks that we have hit, you'll see designated with a roller coaster. If you want to get really interactive, scroll in on those roller coasters, and we have YouTube videos of each of the roller coasters inside those parks. So if you want to nerd out with us, we love roller coasters. It's been a lot of fun. Other than that, thanks again for joining. And next week, where will we be coming from?
Colorado Springs.
Yay, Colorado, back home.
Yep.
So thanks again. Have a great week. Take care.
Bye.